Good morning. How are you guys today? I'm excited. Ooh, this is bright. Let's dim that down a little bit. Okay, cool. There we go. That's better. How are you guys doing today? I see you guys in the chats. Looking good. Looking good. Galaxy Master 5987. You're on 2 accounts. Wow. Just I don't know why you got to flex like that, but cool. Um, Travis. Oh, gotcha. That's fine. Okay. Should have just read the comment below it. Um, that's funny. Can we draw characters we already made? Yeah. Yes. I'm going to show you how to break them down so that maybe we can tweak those characters and make them even more characterized. That's awesome, Blake, that you make your own characters. Have a whole sketchbook full of characters. Hi, everyone. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Blake. Hi, Carol. Hi, Danilo. Whole schedule. When I was younger, me and my buddy Jake, he would used to come up with the characters, and I would draw them, and so that was a lot of fun, and it was really cool because I didn't particularly like coming up with the characters, but I did like drawing them, and so we worked out very well as a team together. So it was good. All right. As you guys have already seen, our lesson for today is drawing, making your own characters, and so that's what we're going to do. So let's go over our, whoa, too far, don't look at that. There we go, morning plan, that's what we want. Okay, all right, good morning. Quote of the day. We're going to do that first. We're going to do our art review. You guys sent in some awesome pictures of our fuzzy, furry animals. Then we're going to draw some characters. Then we're going to take a karate break. Then we're going to do some superhero drawings. And then we're going to do our challenge of the day. And then I'm going to send you guys off. And I have a couple new announcements, so definitely stick around for that part so you guys know what's going on. Lillian. Lillian, I'm glad you're feeling so confident today. I like it. Come up with a backstory for each. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool, Zoe. I don't know. That's kind of like what I do with my comic book cartooning class, where we come up with like backstories and dialogue or storyboard it all. It's cool. So our first artist of the day or our quote of the day is Mr. Stan Lee. Stan Lee, I'm sure all of you know who he is. He created Marvel Comics. He created like Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, X-Men, Doctor Strange, Daredevil, Deadpool, just pretty much everybody. Wolverine. And he's a really funny guy. Was a really funny guy, and I think he embodied, with what he did with his stories, he embodied a lot of good morals. So Stan Lee described. Fun fact about Stan Lee: his first name is not Stan. His first name is Stanley. But then when he was writing the comics and he was like becoming a little bit better known, he wanted like a pen name, and so he changed his name. So he broke up Stanley to Stan Lee, and so that's where he got that name from. Stan Lee has described the series Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, which you might remember. I'm going to show you a picture in a little bit that you might recall. But Stan Lee, he has described the series Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, as seen in the picture right here, as having come about due to a bet with his publisher, Martin Goodman. And so the bet was what had happened, according to Stan, was that Goodman, his publisher, told him that their books were selling because of buzzwords like amazing, fantastic, mighty, and incredible. Basically, like if you're a YouTuber and you say that the person is only getting views because of their thumbnails and because they're like, it's like basically clickbait. And so that's what Goodman was telling Stan about his comics, because he was using the Amazing Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, the Mighty Thor, I think, and the Incredible Hulk. and so basically, Goodman was just telling him that like you're not like they're only selling because you have really good titles like that, and like it just pops out to people. People are more attracted, appealing to that. Um, so Stan Lee answered him and told him that the Lee Kirby, so Stan Lee and Jack Kirby was the artist, that the Lee Kirby style was responsible for it, and he offered the challenge. He said, "I'll do a war book with the worst title I can come up with, but if it's done in the Marvel style, I bet it'll sell," and it did. Stan Lee made Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, which he, according to him, was like the worst title because it's got like 6 words: Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. And he said they're also really long words, so you have like Howling and Commandos, and he was like, that's just crazy long. So he's like, there's no way that this is gonna sell or do well, but it did because it's Marvel and Stan Lee knows how to create a cool story. So this is how you probably recognize them now. So if you look, the guy throwing the grenade with the orange mustache, he's the most recognizable one. You can see him right there standing right behind Captain America, and that's like Bucky right next to Captain America. So they actually brought these guys into the Captain America movie. Yeah, I just saw the Marvel camera. I can't believe that is how Captain America. It's kind of scary. Well, so I believe Captain America was its own already, and then they crossed them over into each other. I don't think. I think Captain America was all on its own. And then the movie made them like put them in together because Captain America, I think, in the movie needed kind of like a squad, and so they kind of used these guys as like they took the characters based off of that. Yeah, pretty sure that's how it went down. I'm not 100% sure though. All right. So I wanted you guys to let's take a moment to pause, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Slow one more time. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay. Now, as we take a moment to breathe, I want you to close your eyes and think about something that you would like to do, but you're worried that you won't be any good at, so you haven't tried it yet. Like Stan did, let's face this fear head on and make a game out of it, and embrace the challenge to leaning into the new elements that scare you. So keep on breathing while we're thinking about this. So lean into those fears, kind of like Stan Lee, where he told them to somebody kind of challenged him, or it was the fear of like not being able to make any more good content, and he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna lean right into that and try to make the worst story title that I can, and I'm gonna still try to make it work. That way, I'm not just only using catchphrase words or like words that'll pop to the viewer. I'm gonna prove to myself that the reason that we're successful is not just because we're using words like that are catchy, like amazing or fantastic. When you acknowledge that it might not come out exactly as planned, whatever it is that you're doing, so whether it's a drawing or if it's something that you're working on in life, when you acknowledge that it might not, you can do your best, but it still might not work out how you wanted it to. This acceptance creates a kind of like a kryptonite for the fear, because the fear can't really live if you're okay with not being in full control of the results. So as we keep on breathing, and for right now, let's be brave and let's draw. All right, here we go. I'm excited. Oh, but before we draw, let's do some art review. Okay. So for this art review, Jet did some awesome drawings. I love that you were able to use your mom's stylus pen. And for 30 seconds, I think that's what that says, right? That's pretty good. Very impressive. I think we're definitely going to have more of that coming up soon, that time drawings. Leslie and Glory, you guys did Stitch and Remy. Love it. So good. And I like how you did blue for Stitch's sketch too. So cute. Very nice. And Cohen, Did you use the brush that I was using in Procreate? It looks pretty similar. I like it. Um, but yeah, you did Unicat. Um, very good. You got the colors like exactly. Did you have a picture of Unicat up and you were pulling the colors from that picture, or did you just kind of guess and use those colors? Because they look pretty spot on. You guys are funny. Falcon, Bucky, Thanos. Right now I'm watching Annie with an E. Oh, my mom is. I was gonna. Oh wow, Sienna, you just ran a mile on the treadmill? Right on. You must be pumped. Um, cool. We also have Kevin did an awesome drawing. Kevin, who is this? For like a split second, I thought it was Iron Man because of the chest thing um, and the Captain America shield behind him. But then it looks like he's got swords, and I don't remember if Iron Man had swords ever. But I might be missing something. The helmet kind of looks slightly Iron Man esque, but I don't know. It feels like it might be your own amalgamation of a character. Also, Zoe crushed it. I love the fox that you drew. It's definitely got the movement and just like the very like loose, sketchy feel. Even though like the eye still looks like an eye, but if you looked up close, it's just like a blob. I love sketches like that. Very cool. And you did all of them. I'm always impressed with how many you can do. You always seem to be right on track with me, following me right on my tail, which I love. All right, very nice job, guys. Good job. If you guys have more drawings that you want me to see, send them to me at noahfontana@gmail.com, and yeah, and we'll review them on Thursday for our next class. You don't know who is. That was Zoe who did those last ones. Yes, everybody did such a good job. Oh, thank you, Narida. I love that you guys are here and joining me in cartooning in the morning. All right, character shapes. So this is going to be kind of an interesting way. We kind of touched on this when we did that shape game, and I think it was like the first episode. So if you missed that one, go back and watch the first episode too. But for right now, check out this. Okay, here we go. Okay, boom. Okay, so I'm going to break down what I'm talking about when I say the basic shapes of character. What I mean by that is we're going to break characters into simple shapes. So for example, these are a couple of drawings that I did for my senior thesis. This is Mr. Renner right here. And when I did this, I made it a mix. Like I made the background in 3D and then I drew the characters on top of it. So that's why it looks like a little bit different style. I was inspired by Paperman when I did that. Okay, now with Renner, I wanted him to be kind of like a straight shooter. And so I took a basic shape and I used that basic shape, some of those basic shapes to create his character. So for example, he's got round glasses, which makes him seem more like a good, like calming, appealing person, like friendly almost, is what happens when you use circles. And then I also wanted him to have a triangular shape. So his face is kind of like a triangle like that with his hair. Because I wanted him to have like focus and direction and kind of have a little bit of like sharpness to him, because his character is somebody who kind of just stays in his lane, doesn't go outside of his lane at all, and just focuses and works. He does good work, but he just kind of doesn't, he isn't in it to be like a friendly person or anything like that. So for his character, I used, as you can see here, a very triangular shape for his whole body, but I added the circle for his eyes to show that he does have a friendly side. And if you look through the short, he's always looking over his glasses, almost like he's above being good or being nice. And then later on in the short, we see if he can look through the glasses and see things through the lens of like relationships and people. I also drew Bertram, his boss. Now, she is supposed to be very harsh and almost she's very much the boss, and so she wants to be in charge. And so for her, I kind of created angular shapes, kind of like triangles, which are also very active and sharp. But I also kind of made her silhouette or her shapes look like a Miranda looks like your dad. It's funny. Um, yeah, I made her look like the queen in chess, kind of. I try to use that like kind of bumpy shape because she is like the queen of the office. She's the boss, um, and so she learns to soften up a little bit. Even her hair has kind of like twists and curls to it, but that are kind of create sharper angles. I also had her jacket over her, almost like a king like cape or like a kind of like a robe kind of thing. And our last character that I did for that I'm going to show you guys today is Mr. Greg. Mr. Greg is like a very nice, warm, cuddly person. He is kind of slow though. Like he doesn't, you don't think that he gets it all the time. So I wanted his shape to be very, very simple. So if you can see right here, he's got like a rounded square shape. So a square is very stable, a very strong shape. And I wanted him to be very friendly, so I also gave him like the rounded edges. But it also looks like a very simple shape. It's almost just like kind of like a blob. There's not a lot of dynamic elements to this kind of shape. And I also kind of hunched him over, almost making him look more like gorilla-like, like if you see in this picture right here. Um, I don't have him ever go down on his knuckles, but I do have him have like really big arms in proportion to the rest of his body. And so that's how I designed these characters using shapes. So we're going to ease into this by, I'm going to show you guys, we're going to do like a simple shape game. So on your page, I want you guys to draw a circle, triangle, and square. Just like this. And I drew them already so that I can be prepared and I can just keep on talking. All right. That's when he looks like your grandpa. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to pick a category, and we're going to try to create characters based off of these shapes. Okay, and we're going to see if we can give them some personality. So remember, circle, circle is more like friendly, just because it's so round. A triangle is active. And a square is, we would say, stable. Now that doesn't mean circle can't be used for a villain or anything. It just means that this creates an element of friendliness to them. And it's also very inactive in that with a triangle, it kind of leads your eye like you're following the angles. With a circle, it just kind of is very peaceful. I think that's why it's very like Zen kind of shape where you feel like calm when you look at it because it's just, you can flow. A square is more stable. It does have that, but it's no diagonal lines. Diagonal lines are usually very active and feel like movement. When it's just a left, right, up, and down, that feels a lot more stable. And it won't fall over. It's the most stable of these shapes right here. It looks like pretty sturdy from any angle, and that's something that a person can have or a character can have as a personality trait. Like that they're very trustworthy. The triangle, though, that's very active, sharp. It can be very heroic. It's very dynamic. It's just got this point. It goes into a direction. It's directional. It could also be dangerous, almost like a sign, like a street sign almost that has the angle. Usually that stands out a lot more than like a circular or a square sign. All right, so we're going to create some characters. Okay. So I'm going to hide these right now. And so for this first character, let's design a mouse. All right. If you guys have any suggestions of what we think we should do for the next category that we'll do for this shape group, write it in the comments and I can pick the most popular one. But for right now, I want you guys to try to draw a mouse out of each of these shapes. Okay, let's see. And try to get the aesthetic of the shape too. So like if the circle is more friendly and the triangle is more like heroic or angular or directional or movement, let me like try to add that into the character. So you don't just draw like a happy mouse in every single one. Try to give the mouse a character based off of the shape. Okay, Dutch angled dragon, a regular dragon. Oh, you guys want to do dragons? That would be cool. I'm totally down to do dragons next. All right, let's do. There we go. Let's draw a mouse first, and then we'll do some dragons. So let's see. I think I drew that a little too big because I wanted this to include his whole body too. So I'm gonna small. There we go. We'll do that. You guys think I would be at a circle? That's funny. Thank you. I guess. What shape would you guys be? Sienna, you're a triangle. Charizard, dragon sounds fun. Okay, I think we're doing dragons. Can I flip? Yes, of course. You could flip. You could turn them any direction. Just keep them as that shape. Yeah. Rats are pretty smart. Okay, here we go. They're pretty cute. They're good pets, I hear. They're very clean too, despite what people might think. All right. There we go. Okay, there's like our jolly little rat. Let's try a triangle shape. So when you're drawing, so with this rat, you see I tried to make his all the elements of him round. Like his feet are kind of roundish or curved. His nose is round. His smile is round. His eyes are round. His ears are round. Now for this one, we're going to try to make this one. I feel like this one could be a really sinister rat. Look, I'm making his ears more round. I'm making his eyes more. I mean, sorry, not more round. His eyes more angular. Even his tail is more angular. There we go. And I even have a cut out of his ear to make it look like to add that triangular shape. There we go. He almost looks like a rat that was nice and then turned bad because of some of the roundness that is still in him. Yeah. Yeah, definitely follow each other on Instagram. All right, last one. And share your work too. That way I can see it too. All right. Last one. Okay, this is going to be, let's make this a wise old rat. He's going to, or like a mouse. This guy is going to be very old and like wisdom. He's going to be set in his ways, kind of like the grumpy old man from Up. Okay, maybe we should even give him some glasses. Oh, that's another good one too. Actually, so if you look at Up, if you look at Up, Ellie and Carl, is that his name? The old guy and his wife. She is a circle and he is a square, and they use those two basic shapes to create completely to create their character basically. He was square. He was set in his ways. He was more rigid. Not moved and not easily moved. Like a square doesn't roll. Imagine if you had square bicycle tires; it really wouldn't work. But his wife was around. She was always energetic and excited, and yeah, and that was her personality, and that was her circle. She was always moving, and so that's kind of like how they design their characters. I'm going to show you a little bit more after this about how Pete Docter uses those shapes a lot. Pete Docter is the director for Up and Monsters, Inc. too. Now, you guys don't need to copy the mice. I hope that you're drawing your own mice that are that look a little bit different than mine. What if a mouse had dentures? That's what I'm thinking about now with old mice. But what if they only had the dentures for like their two front teeth? You know, the mice are drawn with like those two buck teeth. What if they just had dentures? Like that. A glass of water. There we go. That was definitely needed for this drawing. Okay. You know what? I think his eyes look better. Almost just like this. You're giving him kind of like square eyebrows. And I made his whiskers look almost like a big bush mustache. There we go. All right. Now, just based off of these shapes, we have a completely good plethora of characters. How do you guys like it? Yeah, you can draw an opossum. All right. Yeah. So this is just a simple way. Now, if you feel like this isn't how like real artists use it, and you feel like this is almost gimmicky, I want to show you an example. Okay, so for there we go. Let me get this set up here. If you think that artists don't actually use this, so like I was telling you, right? With Ellie and what's his name, the old guy from Up. I think it's Carl. Is it Carl? Let me know. Um, so we have. It is Carl. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, let's see. So Carl. The old guy from Up. Right there. Um, the circle like Remy's brother. Oh yeah, totally. Whereas Ellie, his wife, had more looser hair, flowing, everything flowed, just like how we said like a circle flows, you know? Um, much more rounder features. And if you look, all of their, let me see, I'm going to pull the picture. All of their chairs and everything that they had in that movie were also very much so squares and circles. So I'm going to show you in just a second. So when they design those characters, they design not just their characters, but also different elements of their characters. So they design their objects, their tools, what they lived in, and stuff. So this is a picture of Carl and Ellie's chairs. So Ellie's on the right, Carl's on the left. Carl's chair is very like square. Even the cushions are square. Ellie's is very round. Carl has like a square rug. Ellie has a circular ottoman. Ellie's lamp is even more round and circular and curves than Carl's lamp, which is more boxy and straight. Even their tables, their like tables next to their chairs, look totally different. So that's how they designed those characters, and they created it into their entire universe, which is really cool. Now, that's not just one. That doesn't work for just one character. So I'm going to show you one other thing. So Pete Docter, oops. If we just stretch that that shape a little bit, Pete Docter also used the same dynamic for another group. All right, so tell me if you guys can guess what character shapes, what characters these are. Okay. Wow, I do not remember how to draw Sully. Holy moly. Yeah, there you go. Monsters Inc. So, just by using those simple squares and circular shapes, you can create a whole different slew of characters. Okay, you guys really want your minds to be blown? I got another one for you. Uh, okay. Um, nice job. Good guessing. Now, also, with these characters, um, you're not just what am I trying to say here? You're not just creating characters based off the shapes and that's it. This is part of their personality. Sully is way more like grounded. He's just more calm. He's like the consistent dude. Everything is chill. He's just casual. There's not a lot of movement, because he's very relaxed and chill. Mike, on the other hand, is like a beach ball, bouncing all over the place and everything. So that makes sense for his character to be circular. Okay, I'm going to do one more that's going to blow your mind, okay? There we go. Tell me when you guys can guess this one. Another famous duo. Yep, there you go. You guessed it. Nice job, Nerda. Yep. Um, ugh, I don't like how C3PO came out, but you guys get the picture. Um, just with using these simple shapes, you're able to create a lot of different characters. Um, and for time's sake, I think we're gonna have to wait to do the dragons later. But that could be part of the homework actually, so that's okay. Okay, so for right now, let's take a break. Um, let's do our karate break and do our stretches. All right. See through like the big giant. You mean like Iron Giant, or is the big giant something else? Let me know. Um, okay. Stretch your arms like this. Good, 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 good. Stretch your arms like this. Good, 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 good. All right. Stretch your neck. Go up and down, left, right. There we go. Up, down, left, and right, and around, and around the other way. Good. Okay, stretch your back. Make sure you're sitting up straight. And hunch, and straight, and then hunch. Good. Okay. And then twist your wrist. There we go, like this. Twist our wrist like that. Stretch your hands like that. Can you guys think of any other characters that are based off of those two shapes? Like smaller circle and a taller rectangle or a square? Let me know. Now that I've told you about it, you'll probably see a lot more. It's a pretty common thing. It's almost like ooh, types of weather. That's cool. I'm gonna write that down. Yeah. It's almost like when you watch that YouTube video about like the 4-chord songs that like it's like most songs are compiled or can be played with just 4 chords. It's kind of like the same thing with art. It's like there's stuff that works, kind of like a beginning, middle, and end for a story, and then a lot of people follow that structure. Shrek and Donkey. Yeah, yeah. Definitely like personality wise, I think too. Like Donkey is like very energetic and everything, and Shrek is like more slower. Ernie and Bert, yes, totally. Yeah. Lots of circles in Pokemon, yep. Very good. Nice job. When Leslie, when you say types of weather, do you mean like you want to draw like snowflakes and like fall leaves and stuff, or do you want to draw like a tree that changes each season or something like that? I don't know, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Okay. So next, we're going to do some superhero shapes, and this one's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Okay. So we're still going to use the same basic shapes, but we're going to try to see and break down superheroes based on these shapes. Okay. So for this, I want to show you what I mean. Okay. Let's break down some famous shapes. Oh, actually, before I forgot to break down other characters and shapes. Here's an Aladdin sketch, and this is how they broke down their characters into the basic shapes. So if we were going to go off of what we were looking at, circles are very friendly. The Sultan is a circle, but they made him more like an egg shape because he's so easily manipulated and toppled over. Like you can change his mind about a lot of things. He's easily swayed. That's why they give him that circular round shape, because like an egg, you can't really stand it up straight. It needs a lot of like work. Seasons. Okay. Weather and seasons could be a fun one too. Writing that down too. As opposed to, say, Aladdin, he's got like a rounded triangle. So he is very, very friendly, but he's also very active and dynamic. And he's very stable. So if you look at the bottom part of Aladdin on the left side, he's got such a wide base. That means like he's a solid person. Jafar, similar, but he is very strong. Like he's got the bottom base like Aladdin does, but he's got a lot more angles to him, and he's got like a lot of curve down around the shoulders and stuff. And it's almost like the hat is like a fake niceness. So the circles that he gets come from the hat, but that's just something that he puts on, almost like he puts on a mask. So a lot of different cool dynamics to go along with these characters. But let's look at these characters, some superhero characters. Now, just in the comments below, can you guys list off some of the shapes you see in some of the characters? All right. List them in the comments. I'm going to write down rain, snow, tornadoes, hurricane. Oh, you mean like, okay. Rain, snow, and hurricanes. Cool. All right. Okay, so let me know what kind of shapes you see in the characters. We're going to try to break each one down individually. So, Mr. Incredible. Let's see what shapes do we see on him. So, Mr. Incredible, first off, he's very friendly, very stable, very strong. So he should have almost all the shapes in one way or another. Yeah. Which shape is Ash? Catch up. action characters. Funny you should say that. That's, I believe, what our next episode is, if I recall correctly. Sometimes I change up the order last minute, so I think that's what it is. So let's see. With Mr. Incredible, we've got this nice, heroic, triangular shape. He's also got a nice circle for his head, but also it fits neatly into his stable square. So he got... And his arms are kind of like more triangles. Those gloves. Very dynamic. I mean, when they made him, they were definitely like, this guy needs to be dynamic. And a nice little like round circle for his belt. So if we take this off, voila. Look at that. Pretty cool superhero, just from some simple shapes. And you get that feeling of him being strong, him being dynamic, just from using a lot of like triangles. But you give him a little bit of roundness and a little bit of squares just to make sure you know that he's a good guy too. Let's try Dash. Okay. So Dash got this nice circle, but also a crazy triangle coming off his head. And he's got the same kind of triangle. When they made this, they wanted it to be like a classic superhero movie in a lot of ways, but with like a family twist. But he's also got a very round belly because he is a very lovable character, and we wanted him to be lovable. So if you look, boom, oh, here we go. All right, how about Edna? I know I'm going through these fast because I have an activity for us to do in a second. I want to make sure we have time for that. Now, Edna, being very like fashion forward, she's got a lot of interesting dynamic shapes. Okay, so let's see. She's got a square. She is very stuck in her ways. She's very creative, so her eyes get to be circles and just kind of open and like always moving, kind of thinking of new opportunities and options. And triangle for the superhero underwear too. Upside down triangle. You guys are funny. First character. That's funny. Oh. Last girl circle, oval. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna write down that too though, just so I don't forget. But I'm pretty sure I have that coming up next class for our action characters. Keep on letting me know suggestions, guys. Honestly, I'm running out of ideas. No, I'm just kidding. There's so much stuff to draw. But I want to draw stuff that you guys like to draw too. Okay, let's see. There we go. There's also, I've noticed when I was doing my senior thesis, there's like a squiggly line, kind of almost like smoke, which can be like elusive or attractive, and it's just like kind of, it's very like windy, almost like a snake, and it's another shape which is almost just like a curve, you know. Let's see. But for Edna, she's got a little bit of everything, which is why I think she's so much fun to draw. She's such a character. And you can get a lot of the attitude just in a character like that. I like that one. All right, let's do a couple more. Okay, Syndrome. Oh boy. Okay, he's got crazy shapes. Here we go. He's got like a diamond shape, which is yeah, a diamond shape is almost like kind of like a triangle, a little bit more like egotistical, I would say, you know, a little bit more theatrical. It's got a little bit more pizzazz than triangle. Triangle is a little bit more sturdy in that way. Let's see. Now he's sort of got a triangular shape, but it's almost like artificial. It's almost like a, you know, it's not quite a real dynamic triangle. It's kind of like an illusion. And he's also got this pudgy belly, this like round body. And I think that's what they're trying to do. They took a superhero, instead of making it that should have been dynamic, and instead of making it actually dynamic, they made it just a shy bit off. Like, it's not quite. Let's see. It's a lot of like puffed upness, you know, like he's not actually strong, but he's puffing up his belly. He doesn't actually have like triangles. They're just weaker shapes. They kind of took a nice simple circle. There we go. They took a nice simple circle and they turned it into like a blobby shape. And they took a nice strong triangle. And they turned it into kind of like added more elements to it, like for his gun thing that he has on his arm, you know, which is basically what his character is. You know, he's trying to copy and mimic superheroes. Let's end on a cute one. Let's end on Jack Jack. Obviously adorable, super round and cuddly. Baby. He's got a little bit of dynamicness though to him with that triangle on the top of his head. More cute circles on his hands. His belly is super cute. And he's soft because he's not exactly necessarily strong or threatening in that way. So that's why he's got the same blobby circle as like Syndrome has, the villain. There we go. I mean, look how cute that is. It's just all circles and just a little taste of super heroicness, just with his hair, just to show that he's got potential, you know. And all these things add to a character. They make it all. They make the characters. Let me see. Here we go. Those shapes give you an idea of who the character is even before you know who the character is. There we go. Just a bunch of shapes, and yet we created a whole slew of different characters. So just with 3 different shapes, a couple more for Syndrome, because he distorted them, but they still use those original shapes. Ouch, Galaxy Master. Why do viewers wear masks even though we can still recognize them? I don't know. I think a mask does a little bit more hiding than you think. Pill and a diamond kind of shape. Yes, exactly. You guys, Sarah Greco, funny. You guys are funny. Broadway characters, interesting. I would write that one down too. Okay, so far I got Broadway characters, action characters, and types of weather and seasons. Did I miss anything? Let me know if I missed anything. You guys could always email me or DM me on Instagram, and I'll add it to the list that way too. Okay. How are we doing? 5 minutes. Okay, we're almost up. So, yeah, we'll end it on that. So you guys can see, obviously, all the different options that you have just with some basic shapes for characters. And this is kind of cool, right? Different than what we did in the first part where we were just taking one shape and trying to fit a character into that shape. This one, you're taking the shapes and building a character, trying to give them a little bit more dimension. Okay. So, for our superhero, that was our superhero shapes. Our challenge of the day is to create a villain using the simple shapes as the initial structure. All right. Also, if you want to create a superhero, you can too. But I figured a villain would be cool because we haven't really gone over the villains as much. We did only like positive characters a lot. Episode just for rabbits. Blake, there's actually a place where you can go to. I mean, once we can go out and everything, where they have rabbits that artists go to. It's called like Fuzzy Draw or something. I forget what it's called. And I did it a couple times. If you scroll down way down my Instagram, you can see you go into this like building where they sell rabbits and they breed rabbits. But you can go and sit and draw with them during a day. So it was like me and like 30 other artists were all sitting in these like rabbit pens drawing them. It was a lot of fun. If you can do a class where characters are colors based on their emotions. Ooh, Colin, nice, good suggestion. I like that one. I always love colors. Okay, characters are colors. Gotcha. Let's definitely do that. 100% gonna do that one. Cool. I don't think I missed anything. Okay. All right. So yeah, so that's your homework. Try to do what we did with these characters and just do it for your own villain. Okay. We're changing the days after this week. So after this week, we're only going to be doing morning cartooning on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is so that I can create more like mini videos for you guys, just to kind of go into detail for some of the topics that I've been going over. So yeah, just keep that in mind. After this Friday is going to be the last Friday, and then we're going to change it up, and we're just going to do Tuesdays and Thursdays. And but yeah, I'll be sending out more and more content just to help you guys out, and I'll be still free, so don't worry about that. Yeah, no mail today. Sometimes there's not. You guys send me pictures with no words and like or no comments in the email. So if you just send me a picture, that kind of defeats the purpose of the whole mail thing, because the mail is also supposed to be a letter too. So if you guys want to do mail, send me a letter. Oh, hold on. First, we'll get to that in a second. What should we draw next? Comment below. You guys are already doing that. Fantastic. Same time. Yes, same time. Just because East Coast people, they're already 3 hours ahead, so that's why. Yes, submit your artwork to noahfontana@gmail.com to be featured on Thursday's episode. And if you want to do like a special feature where you're like the star student of the episode and we can do the mail, you gotta write to me in the letter. Some of you have, but we also didn't have enough submissions to fill up a complete art review and then also do a letter of the day. So I just put them in the art review today. But yeah, write me a letter. Send in your picture, and then I'll put you as our letter of the day, our mail of the morning. If you want to help support, we got a link down below. You can do that. Thank you. Appreciate for doing that. I believe our green screen is on the way, so we can finally do some karate, which I'm excited about. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. And then I'll see you guys on Thursday, and we're going to do action and speed. So it's going to be a very heroic, very action characters actually. So Nerida, yes, we are doing that on Thursday. Your action characters, and it'll be a lot of fun. Also, we're going to be doing more timed drawings. So get ready for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, I will remain in the chat for a little bit while longer. If not, I'll see you guys Thursday. Bye.